question before us again. So I just want to thank you, Jane, for this opportunity. I want to thank Hillary for the opportunity to come and be a part of Long Beach. And my goodness, wait till you see our new office at 3939 Atlantic Boulevard. We are moving into the territory. You know what the most amazing thing is, as I'm going in and out of my district now, and especially up in the Bixby Knolls area, which is where I'm taking up residency, as well as we're taking up our new office that you have all come out to support, so that we can make sure that we have all that we need to get in there. As I'm walking in there and going into the small businesses and now have my lunch and doing all my little normal shopping and things that I enjoy over my life, they're whispering, "You're a Republican and you're running?" Is everybody communist China? Why are you whispering? This is a free land. So thank you, Hillary. We're going to go in there. Thank all of you. We're going to go in there. We're going to talk to people about freedom. See, I live the lie of the left. I already understand what it is that they're trying to convince the rest of America to buy into. I got engaged very early on, believing that all of my life problems were not my fault. I believed that somebody else would be responsible to pay for my way. I believed that poor people were poor because rich people were rich. I believe everything that they said about us. I believe even what people are polling today, that there's nothing wrong with socialism, but there's everything wrong with capitalism. I believed it, and I got my life caught up in that lie to where it spun totally out of control. I was engaged early on in criminal activity, drug activity, sexual promiscuity. I was in and out of abortion clinic after clinic. In fact, it wasn't until the 4th time I went into one of their so-called safe, legal, rare clinics that I had a gut instinct way down deep inside that there must be something wrong with killing your offspring. But it didn't stop me from spiraling out of control, and I was pregnant again within a very short period of time, and this time I opted to have that child, and that's how I ended up in welfare. I'd been in and out 7 years. I took advantage of all of the people who thought that they might have been doing a really good idea to redistribute other people's money. You know, it sounds pretty cool to say maybe we can help poor people if we would just help them a little bit with the cash, help them a little bit with housing, help them a little bit with their children's education. Help them from womb to tomb, as we're beginning to hear now. But we were wrong as a society. Those that bought into that movement or message during the war on poverty, we were wrong. $400 billion a year, $1.3 trillion over time invested. We were wrong about a lot of things during that time. Not just did it destroy the very people that we said we were trying to help. The African American community at that time, the family was intact. 78% of the husbands were in their homes with their wives raising their children. Today it's the opposite. 70% of homes now in black America are single-headed. The welfare state destroyed the momentum of the black family, and when we started seeing the breakdown of family life, we started seeing the breakdown of community life. But that doesn't seem to be enough for these guys. They want to continue with the perpetuation of this lie. We were absolutely wrong, because what also we didn't consider while we were breaking down the family is that we weren't changing poverty. The poverty rate in this community is exactly the same as it was in the 60s when they started the social engineering. But I didn't know all of that then. I just got caught up in it. And the next thing you know, you're living off of the heavy hand of Uncle Sam, and you really don't know how to get off from under that thumb. And Uncle Sam is a cruel taskmaster. When I went into welfare, the rules were don't work, don't save, don't get married, and we'll just keep redistributing somebody else's wealth to try to keep you in this situation. It's just not enough, and it's not enough for us to accept while they dig into our pocket and we see taxation spiral, but it's not enough to leave North Long Beach and Compton and many of our other crippled neighborhoods living under this political lie. I have to go inside. I told Jane after I decided that I was going to pick up the mantle and go and run for this seat that I have to not only be in it, I need to win it. And I need your help to do that, because we've got to send a new message in this society. I got off from under it. Some of you know that one day somebody looked me in my eye and pointed their finger in my face and told me my lifestyle was unacceptable to God. And when I heard God with a capital G, I started thinking about it. Actually, I got out of there. You know, she mentioned my autobiography, Pimps, Whores, and Welfare Brats. I left a lot of details out of it because of the statutes of limitations. And so when people told me, hey, you know, I wasn't sure about them, so I didn't want to, you know, end up in jail. They're telling me, you know, as a politician, they're going to come my book. I'm glad that you brought it up so that I can print another autobiography and I can make some more money. Now, what they're neglecting to find out is that, especially if you're born again, you can change your life. All you have to do is start making new decisions. That's what freedom allows people to do, make new decisions. And we have to protect freedom in our society today. I began to make different decisions. I got in school, I got a degree in business, and I started one. I know what it's like to hire a person. I remember the first time I hired someone. I know what it's like to stay up at night, wondering if you're going to be able to make payroll, especially when they have family. One of my supporters of my organization told me the other day that he just laid off 2 people that were employed 20 years. This is hard, because I remember what it was like to also lay off people. That was another critical point in my life after pulling myself together, starting to make better decisions for my life, getting off of welfare. When that preacher looked out at 4,000 people and said, why are you living on welfare? The government is not your source, God is, and it's God or government. And he said his God would supply my need, and it began this journey for me to leave that life. And I built a little business right here in South Los Angeles, and it built over time, and that 1992 Los Angeles riots destroyed my business. But I wasn't going back on welfare. This is the message, and I'm going to go into the harder parts of our community, and we're going to invite them over to our office that you guys are helping us tonight to open. They need to know that then you don't go back to welfare. Because I remember depositing more money in a week owning my own business than the welfare had sent me in a year. Freedom works. What we have to do is send a new message about who we are. What it means when we say we want traditional values, limited government, free markets, and a strong national defense. We need to explain our case in places that they haven't heard it before. And I'm a living witness that it works. After the riots destroyed my business, I did a little bit in radio, and then I ended up consulting on federal welfare reform. And I worked that for years. I was working in federal welfare reform with a lot of our friends. That's why my endorsements are running crazy. We can't even keep up with them, because I know everybody that you think is a hero in Washington, all the way to here and all over this country. Because we were able to do that. That was a monumental moment for those of us that are Republicans, and we should be proud of it. Because after we told people enough of this, the party is over. The rolls dropped in half. This is a successful point in our history, 1996, when we told people that you're better than that. When we told people that we believe in you. When we told people you can live free. You can live prosperous. There are just a few things that you need to do. And we nudged them to do it. We gave them 2 years, 5 years over their lifetime to just get out there. And I used my story. And I spoke at the convention that year as a Republican. Then I began to build my business of social policy. It's a nonprofit business. And I moved it